What's up, y'all? It's me, Nate Almighty, and I'm back with another Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4 Theory and Prediction video. And today, we are going to discuss every single time Kane Tejada was the smartest person in the room and was able to see things the other characters just couldn't see. I will analyze Kane's character on a deep level as we uncover who the person was that motivated Kane to trust his own better judgment more. And it's not Mecca, by the way. And you will want to watch this video until the end, as I will predict a major moment that Kane will be able to see coming and will be able to avoid it. But this moment will result in a very major death before this season is over. And this death is likely to happen in episode 9 specifically. And we need to talk about this right now. This video is going to be another banger. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel so y'all can get this fire every day, because this is where you will get the wildest, most creative, and entertaining power theories on the World Wide Web. Also, if you're a power fan or power theory content creator, I have ideas for collaboration videos. I'd also love to get both creators and regular fans on the weekly lives that I'll be doing 3 times a week, where we can recap the episodes together and talk everything power. And I'll also be doing reviews and breakdowns of other shows and movies as well, both new and old. And if you want to be a part of that, email me at n.almighty1991@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram at Nate_Almighty_GDA. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. All right, now, y'all, let's break it down like this. Now, the bizarre thing is, it's the mere presence of Tariq and he and his family's life that begins to push Kane to unlock his potential and his high-level bullshit meter. All the way back in season 1, when Tariq called out Kane's uncle for snitching, meaning it was Tariq who came out of nowhere and saved the Tejadas from a possible RICO case, and very casually at that. From this defining moment on, even though Kane still had many more mistakes to make, it would soon become like a sixth sense for Kane to be able to see through the lies and smoke screens when dealing with other people in the underworld. What I am now wondering, especially since we still have yet to see a Kane-focused flashback with him and Monet yet, is, did Kane develop this skill over the course of the series? Or did he have this skill at a young age, but Monet traumatized him back then after calling out something he was supposed to be too young to speak on, thus causing him to spend the next years of his life stunted mentally, choosing to ignore his intuition just to keep his mom happy, all the while letting her now do the thinking for him, only for him to rely on his own mind more when Tariq started coming around and his position was threatened. There's a major backstory between Kane and Monet coming that will reveal this to us before this season is over. You can bet your bottom dollar. And now let's talk about the first time Kane surprised us all. The very first time Kane meets Mecca at the beginning of season 2, Kane looks Mecca up and down and calls Mecca a narc. Nobody at that moment expected Mecca to end up being the GOAT of global snitching at that time. But Kane was the only one who saw it, but chose to go against his better judgment. Now, once again, I say, did he go against his better judgment at that time? Because Monet traumatized him to go against his better judgment. And from this point on, he begins to rely on his own judgment when dealing with absolutely everyone. Kane knew Diana was going to sleep with Tariq. He also knew Drew was sleeping with Everett and was slipping. It was Kane who outsmarted the very naive Brayden and was able to set Tariq up for the murder of Officer Ramirez. And every time he was proven to himself to be right, he grew more and more confidence in his own judgment. And it just keeps on going from there. Season 3 started with Monet grieving the death of Zeke, which had the Tejadas family scrambling, trying to get revenge against Zeke's murderer, who nobody suspected was Lorenzo Tejada at the time. So once a random guap was blamed for Zeke's death, Kane caught his father reacting in a way that made himself seem questionable. From there, Cain was able to connect the dots, and he realized first what his father did, and then held it over his head until Lorenzo saved his life during a shootout, which caused him to resolve their differences, giving Lorenzo the opportunity to confess to Monet like a man on his own. And when Lorenzo did confess to Monet what he did, he was set up to die by Monet, who used Drew's lover to do it. And who was the first one to connect the dots on that and call Monet out for it? Cain Tejada himself. And what did Monet do? Call him stupid and threaten to kill him, all the while knowing Cain had caught her red-handed. And Monet, underestimating Cain, will come back to bite her before the season is over. And might I also add, Cain was the one who looked Salim up and down and said, yo, your name is fake. We don't believe you. You need more people. And thus, here we are now in season 4, with only 3 episodes left. Cain has already proven to be as receptive as ever. By now, Cain is someone who not only reads between the lines when people are lying and hiding something, but he is also adept at reading body language. At the end of episode 1 of season 4, Cain was able to tell instantly that Effie played a role in keeping Tariq alive that night in the Stansfield school, simply by paying attention to the body language between Tariq and Effie at that moment outside, which was a very brief moment and a feat that only took a mere second or two. From that moment, he knew it was in his better interest to get on Noma's good side. Moving on from that, once Diana and Drew began to recant their statements about Tariq in regards to shooting Monet, Cain was easily able to tell they were hiding something, and he likely suspected they played a role in Monet being shot, but he didn't want to believe or act on it because they are his family, until he had no choice to, which explains why he seemed visibly hurt, upset, and frustrated at the end of episode 3 when they are exposed for in fact setting up Monet to be killed and lying on Tariq about doing it. Cain is essentially a whiz with this stuff at this point now. And now, most recently, with Noma's drugs being stolen, Cain caught on pretty quickly that Monet was involved. And even though she verbally assaults him every time they speak, he is still actively trying to save her and his entire family. His loyalty for his family is unwavering. And he is essentially the most loyal Tejada that he knows, even though earlier on he did things like take the work and replace it with sugar and all that. And it was Cain who got close enough to realize the real reason why Mecca was set to marry Noma, and thus offered his own services to Noma. And we can all bet that Cain already has begun forming a plan behind that. So with that being said, I have one more prediction for this video, in which I believe Cain will be the first to notice some kind of trickery or setup, and he will be able to see it coming and avoid it. And that comes with his little brother, Drew. With Drew already being an informant now, yes, he's an informant, he is a rat, we can expect Tariq and the Tejadas to put their plans to kill Noma and Carter together. And Drew will not be informed on the most critical points for obvious reasons. Drew will feel left out and more ambitious than he has ever been with the aid of the police force behind him. He will likely plan to frame Cain or Monet for a murder or drug deal in order to get them out of the way so he can reign the top of the streets. Cain will see it coming, leading to the final confrontation between the two brothers, resulting in the death of Drew Tejada. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Did I miss anything, or did I perfectly name every single time Cain Tejada was the smartest person in the room? Also, let me know in the comment section, where do you think it's gonna go in regards to the marriage between Cain and Noma? Do you think this marriage is actually gonna go through? Do you think Effie will feel away finding out about this marriage? Do you think Cain and Monet will be able to resolve their differences before the end of the season? Do you think there is a chance that Drew will live and make it to the end of the season and then be in whatever spinoff that we know is gonna come in the future. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's God gifted. That's touched by an angel. That's on the dome, nigga.